Hi everyone, as you can see I've got my specs over here, sunglasses, and also the regular, very old pair of glasses over here. But we're talking all about eyes in today's Daf. I'm going to give also a special treat, so listen to this now, because I'm going to say over a famous university story just on my last week of university of what happened when a bicycle was stolen and my eye got very, very badly injured. So very, very appropriate. My favourite sunglasses, my favourite specs, but I'm not out in the street now, I'm not in the sun, so I'm free to see everything. So we're going to see the statement that we see inside the Torah in Parshat Mishpatim of an eye for an eye. This featured naturally in Parshat Mishpatim in Sefer Shemot. We see that in today's stuff here on Daf Pei Dalet 84 of Masechet Bava Kamma. So the Torah statement, it makes a statement over here that we punish an eye for an eye. How is that to be? Is that to be taken literally or not? But what do we see? It's understood by the rabbis to refer to a monetary obligation rather than a physical punishment. So it could be an eye for an eye within regards to equating two different things. Is it literally, if someone knocks out someone else's eye, do we knock out the other person's eye? That is a question. Seemingly not, obviously. And the Gemara is going to have a discussion with a number of sages, and they take turns within regards to responding to the Gemara's suggestion that perhaps the verse should be understood according to its simple meaning of it. Maybe it's really, if someone knocks out your eye, maybe you knock out the other one. Maybe. Just a suggestion, but maybe not, seemingly. The sages are in agreement, though, that the passage is to be interpreted as payment, not losing an eye, God forbid. So someone should not knock out someone else's eye. It's got to be monetary, according to this. Rabbi Eliezer says, ayin tachat ayin. This is mamash. He is going to go to the extreme and say literally an eye for an eye. However, Rav Ashi explains that he means to say that the person who blinded his friend will pay the value of his own eye rather than the value of the eye that he had blinded over here. This can be understood as based on the understanding that the payment is not restitution, it is exchanged for the punishment that the person really deserves to lose an eye over here. That's what he's saying over here. And it goes on and so forth over here. And, getting an eye injury is possibly the most devastating people for many different people. Just to relate over the story, it's always good to go back to story time to recollect what happened in yesteryear. It was about 18 and a half years ago, maybe slightly more. I think it was the last 2-3 weeks I was in university, studying in Liverpool. And I think we actually did our exams by then, and we were going to leave. We had a university house, and we were going to leave the house, only a matter of maybe a week or two afterwards. We all stayed on, most of us did, that was living in the house, inside that premises, before we went back to London or Birmingham or wherever it might have been that our families were living in. So I stayed on. I think I had a part-time job, and actually I took, without permission, my friend's bicycle. A friend of mine that passed away in a car accident, and I did a few videos on, also you can find on the channel. Amazing, the Shama being a very good place, very, very good friend of mine, very great guy. So I think he had a bicycle, he was very, very sporty. So I, with another friend, I was going really into fitness at the time. I was doing bodybuilding, weights, I was really into running, I was really trying to be a macho man at the time, and I took his bicycle. I said, I had another friend of mine from Scotland. I hope you're going to be listening to this. I'll send you the link. So we said we're going to go on a race. I think the case was that I was going to ride the bicycle and he was going to run, because he was also trying to keep fit and healthy at the time. I remember he was really going for it also. So I remember I took the bicycle of my friend, and I hardly rode a bicycle for many years, so it was a good race for him to have, because he could beat me in that, because I wasn't so confident with the bicycle. And I did something else wrong. I didn't ask permission for the bicycle. He would have let me for sure, I just knew that, but really you should ask permission. The second thing, I don't remember if I wore a helmet or not. I hope I did, but it could be I didn't on the day. I don't really recollect. So we're in our student road, and it's dark, it's late at night, and it's not a safe road. It's considered one of the more dangerous roads in the whole of the United Kingdom we were living in, towards the back of the road. There's full of things that was probably not safe. It was a student house, so we lived there. So I'm running, I'm on the bicycle, and I say 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going, and I think I gave him a head start. So I gave him a 10-second head start, my friend. So then, and we were going to go to the bottom of the road, which would be maybe even a kilometer away or something. It was a long road. So I'm going for 10 seconds and stuff like that. And then in come 4 or 5 thugs. And I think one of them had a chain on them and then smashed me inside the head. And I fell down, I collapsed. And I was knocked out. I was still aware of what's going on, and they took the bicycle. They did all that damage, these proper Russia-in wicked people, for the bicycle, I remember at the time. And I remember I had blood everywhere, all over the head and all over the eye. Later on there would be a big gush, red gush inside my eye, and I was worried, but Baruch Hashem, it wasn't a long-term problem, it was just a short-term thing. So I remember going back to the house, so I was walking back, and I think my friend called the police immediately. He ran back. Obviously, it was a scary situation. And I started walking back. They called the police. And I remember I was just in tears. I was in a lot of pain, but I was just crying because it was the longest 3-4 minute walk back to a house I ever did. I was just in tears, flooding in tears. How much pain I'm in, how much pain, the tears was rolling down the eyes. I don't think I cried for years with regards to that, but it was so, it was just the sheer thing, because at the time, the irony of this was, and the paradox of that, at that point in time, I was really doing a lot of weightlifting. I was unbreakable. Like, no one could mess with me at the time. Obviously, it's about the spiritualness of a person, not the physicalness of a person, but the spiritualness of a person. But in my world at the time, it was all about being the tough man, being the bodybuilder, looking good, which is not the correct way, but that's the corrupt form which I had at the time. And I was broken there. Those people, those thugs, these lunatics, these thieves, they did it. So I recollect this. I was crying, and the police came, and they wanted to take me to the hospital. And with my friend also, a good friend of mine, whose bicycle was actually stolen. So lo and behold, this was like 10, 20 minutes later, we're inside the car where they're taking us now to the hospital so that we can get treatment. Very kindly of them, excellent work. And we see, lo and behold, these people, and we see the bicycle. So they arrested them straight away. Here I am here. I've got, Baruch Hashem, I went to the hospital. And they I think they bandaged my head. They cleaned it, and everything was going to be fine. I didn't need stitches, but I was all red. It was painful also, and there was a massive bruise over here. I can't remember if I got pictures of it or not. I think a friend of mine had some pictures, but it looked very bad. But they told me in a week or two it's going to be good. So look, they found the person, and I think they questioned the person. And I think he went to prison for maybe a few months. We thought it was him. I had to do an identification check the next day or something like that. And we found him. But there's this concept in, I don't know if it still counts, but back in 2005, that if someone gets hurt so badly, victim support. So here I am, Baruch Hashem, my eye is still intact, but I have all these bruises and all this pain. And, it came with big packages, not just a bruised eye and the massive red dots. I couldn't go out. It was embarrassing. I remember I was wearing these sunglasses, for quite a few days, and to hide away from it, because there was so much vanity at the time that I had a taste of my own medicine. Let's just say that it's not all about the vanity. But it didn't just bring about the pain of a bruised eye, and I couldn't go out. I was embarrassed to go out into the street. And my friends who would come visit will see, look at how you look and stuff like that. So there was this concept the British government did of victim support, where they would actually give persons, so I can't remember, I think I got a few £100 for this, the government gave, as a compensation for what had happened there. But, there is this concept that if, God forbid, someone does get injured over here, as we see inside the Daf today, someone actually has the eye even taken out. No, so it seems that, no, we don't take the person that perpetrated it, his eye out in exchange. There's a monetary value system which is related over inside the Daf. That's how it's gone through an algorithm of monetary. And that's what we're learning about, and that's all darshan from Sefer Shemot. In Parshat Mishpatim, Kedoshim, and Kitetze in Sefer Devarim are the 3 parshot in the Torah that conglomerate all the mitzvot inside the Torah, and that's very much a scene within regards to that. So it's always good to share over a story. Baruch Hashem, I was fine a week afterwards. I think I went back to London shortly afterwards, and I was good. I think I went to America that summer, and only a few months afterwards, I began really a slow but a meaningful spiritual journey. I think maybe that might not have happened. Maybe I wouldn't have taken that spiritual journey, I think, after I started to become more religious, only 2 months later, around Sukkot time. I remember it was, maybe if that wouldn't have happened, I might have went somewhere that summer where maybe that would have eroded my spiritualness and made things spiritually worse and everything else. But maybe because that happened, it was like a blessing in disguise. But thank God there was no long-term damage, and I was good after. So guys, wishing you a great night. Please watch over all the previous videos I've done here in Masechet Bava Kamma, and I'd like to dedicate this to Shana Bat Avram for full refuah shlema and a hatzlacha also, and just brachot to everyone here all across the world in Israel, just showing you love. We are all one community here. We're watching these every day, whichever platform you're doing. I'm doing videos on every single thing. It's good to inspire everyone else, and thank you for giving me the privilege.